Hey guys, I'm Rebecca from CoderDojo NYC, and we wanted to chat a little bit about how we got our dojo running.
Hey guys, I'm Carl, and today what we want to talk about is how to get your first dojo going. So first off, I think the most important part to get your dojo started is to find the volunteers, right, Rebecca?
Yeah, so finding volunteers for us was a bit of a challenge as, you would think, oh, New York City is so big and like, oh, there must be people like, climbing over each other to come volunteer. And that did not happen right away. That has taken a while for us to get to that point where we now have a lot of really great volunteers. And we just sort of wanted to share with you guys how we got to that point.
So most of our volunteers, we have about 100 of them now, and a lot of them work at startups as well as New York City Department of Education, and they're kind of from across the board. And if you reach out to ongoing communities in your city, such as meetup groups and things like that, it's a great way to find first-time volunteers.
And also another great place, especially if you're in a much smaller city, is college students. So there are always college students who are looking to share their time, computer science majors, engineering majors. You don't, even just self-taught programmers. I personally am a self-taught programmer, as is Carl. So, it always helps to reach out into the local community.
Once you have your volunteers, the next step is finding a location. And so that can be a little tricky, when you have like 30, 40 kids running around, you want to make sure you have a location that's adequate for that. So how do we go about this, Rebecca?
So we were very fortunate, and our first location where we were holding most of our dojos was actually my previous job, DoSomething.org, which is a large nonprofit which specializes in social change and youth, which is really convenient because CoderDojo is youth and social change and programming. So I was really lucky, and I asked, can we use the space? Can I use those 30 intern laptops? And DoSomething was very gracious, and they let us use their old space. And then when they moved to a newer, bigger space, they also let us use it on the weekends. But we got to a point where we got so big that we outgrew the space.
So in your case, if you're looking for like a space to host your first dojo, try to reach out to universities. Maybe your local library has a media lab which you can use. See if there's any companies. Maybe there's a startup scene that they have the space available. Usually startups have like open floors. Those tend to be ideal to host a dojo. You could also host your first dojo in a big conference room. So maybe you limit it to 20, 25 kind of guests, and that's a great way to get you started.